All right, welcome back. Today, we're going to tackle a topic that every single business in the UAE really needs to get right, the new corporate tax penalties. The rulebook has been updated, and believe me, understanding it is absolutely critical.
So let me ask you something straight up. How much do you think a simple, maybe even an honest mistake on your taxes could actually set your business back? A few hundred dirhams? Maybe 1,000?
Well, guess what? As of August 2023, those answers have totally changed. The UAE has a brand new penalty framework, and the financial stakes for getting it wrong are just way higher than they used to be. So let's break down exactly what that means for you.
Okay, first things first, let's get on the same page with the lingo. This comes straight from the official text, Cabinet Decision number 75 of 2023. An administrative penalty, well, it's just the official term for a fine the government charges when a business doesn't follow the corporate tax rules. Think of it as the price tag for a compliance slip-up. All right, let's kick things off with the absolute basics, the foundation of all your tax compliance, your paperwork. It's often where the first and honestly the most easily avoidable mistakes happen. The law is crystal clear. You have to keep the required records and information. Now, this sounds super basic, right? But failing to do this is literally violation number 1 in the official rulebook. And yeah, it comes with a pretty specific price tag. And you've got to see how this escalates. A first-time offense for bad record keeping, that's a 10,000 dirham hit. But make that same mistake again inside of 2 years, bam, the penalty doubles to 20,000. The message here is pretty direct. Get your records in order from day one. It's not just about keeping records. It's about keeping them up to date with the authorities. A really common slip-up is just forgetting to tell the federal tax authority about changes to your business. Think about it. Did you move your office? Change your legal name? Little things like that? You've got to let them know. And yeah, for what seems like a small oversight, the penalties are pretty steep. The first time, it's 1,000 dirhams fine. But do it again within 24 months? That number jumps 5 times, all the way up to 5,000 dirhams. Ouch. Okay, now for a very specific one. The authority might ask you to submit your records in Arabic. And just to be clear, this isn't a friendly suggestion. It's a formal requirement, and if you don't comply, there's a fixed, no excuses penalty. Yep, that's a flat 5,000 dirhams. No negotiation. If they ask for records in Arabic, you provide them in Arabic. Simple as that. All right, Section 2. We're moving on to the next major hurdle, the actual process of filing your tax return and paying what you owe. This is where deadlines and accuracy are everything. So what happens if you just miss the deadline to submit your tax return? Well, the penalty isn't a one-and-done deal. Oh no, it's more like a meter that starts running and just keeps on running, month after month. So for the first 12 months you're late, it's 500 dirhams for every single month, and that includes even part of a month. But here's the kicker. Once you cross that 1-year mark, the penalty doubles. We're talking 1,000 dirhams a month. This just goes to show procrastination can be incredibly expensive. Okay, so what if you get the paperwork in on time, but you don't actually settle the tax bill? That's a whole different ballgame, a different violation with a different kind of penalty. This one is calculated as a percentage of what you owe. We're talking 14% per year. But here's how it really gets you. It's calculated and slapped on monthly on whatever amount you haven't paid, so it can add up incredibly fast. It's basically like having a high-interest credit card bill with the government. Look, we're all human, we make mistakes. So what if you submit your return and then have that oh no moment when you realize there's an error? Yep, there's a penalty for submitting an incorrect return. But, and listen up, because this is a huge but, there is a way out. The penalty is 500 dirhams. But here is the golden ticket. If you spot your own mistake and you submit a corrected return before the filing deadline passes, that penalty is completely wiped away. Gone. So that final once-over before you hit submit, it could literally save you 500 dirhams. All right, now we're getting into the real high-stakes part of the game, tax audits. How you act when the authority is taking a close look at your books or when you find a past mistake can make a massive, massive financial difference. Let's imagine the scene. A tax auditor shows up. Your legal duty here is crystal clear. You have to facilitate their work. Anything, and I mean anything, less than full cooperation is seen as a major, major violation. And the penalty for that? It's one of the biggest fixed penalties in the whole decision, a whopping 20,000 dirhams. The message couldn't be simpler. Do not get in the way of a tax audit. Full cooperation isn't optional, it's mandatory. Okay, let's play out a really important scenario. You're going through your past filings and you find an error. It means you underpaid your tax. Now you have a choice. Do you tell the authority right away, or do you kind of wait and hope they don't find it? Well, what you do next matters a lot. This slide says it all. This is where being upfront literally pays off. If you find that error and file what's called a voluntary disclosure before they even send you an audit notice, you're only looking at a 1% monthly penalty on the unpaid tax. But if you wait until after they've notified you, you get hit with that same monthly penalty plus a massive 15% fixed penalty on top. Being proactive saves you that entire 15% hit. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so we've gone through a lot of rules, a lot of numbers. So what's the bottom line? What are the key takeaways to keep your business safe and sound?
Think of this as your compliance checklist. 1, document everything, and I mean meticulously. 2, never ever miss a deadline for filing and payment. 3, keep your business info updated with the tax authority. 4, if you find a mistake, don't hide it. Own it and report it proactively. And finally, number 5, if an auditor shows up, cooperate fully. These 5 actions right here, they're your best defense against all these penalties we just talked about.
So there you have it. We've seen the new rules, and we've seen the very real, very steep cost of getting them wrong. These penalties aren't just fines. They're basically a roadmap from the government on how to do things right. So the only real question left for you is this. Is your compliance strategy ready for what's next? Are you following the map, or are you just hoping you don't get lost?